It now gives me enormous pleasure to welcome to the stage our Chief Product Officer, Tom Freeman. Hey man, all yours.
Thanks, Greg. Today we showcase the innovation our development team has been building over the last few months. When we initially launched Playbooks version 1 in September of 2020, we had two key objectives. Build a smart platform to manage all your meetings in one place and create a simple but powerful content platform for sharing and publishing playbooks. During our scoping and our discussions with potential customers, consults with existing customers and people within Greg's network, we wanted to understand what was required. They wanted a fast and simple setup. They wanted robust integrations with the tools that they use every day, simple but accountable outcomes, and overall a great experience. And that starts with a smart meeting tool. The first port of call in a smart meeting tool is the dashboard. Within the dashboard, we've got several key areas that are going to allow you to be productive, on time, and on point for your meetings. The upcoming meetings section on the left-hand side shows a list of your upcoming meetings, whether it be today, tomorrow, the meetings are in view. With a single click, we'll take you straight into the meeting and you can start being productive straight away. So the center of the dashboard is reserved for action points. We listen to users, we listen to commenters, we listen to our active users, and the feedback was they want to be able to clear action points from the dashboard without having to track down that meeting. So with a simple tick and a dismiss, your action points will be completed in day and you're ready to go for that follow-up meeting. And that third section, the public library of expertise. So right from the dashboard, we're showing you the most popular playbooks and the most recently added playbooks. This enables you to start consuming that content and deciding which content is critical to share in your meetings. And so on to the meeting listing page. This page has seen a major redesign from our version 1 of Playbooks released in September last year. This page now has simplified filtering. It has a calendar in view to allow you to get to meeting dates faster and allows you to view meetings whether you're a participant or you're an organizer. Now this is powerful because other Playbook account users may set meetings with you all the time, but may then not be able to find a link to the meeting. So we listen to our user base again, and we've implemented participant visibility. So whether your meetings are internal, whether your meetings are external, or whether they are a collection of both, you will now be able to see all the meetings in a single view. But it gets better than that in terms of efficiencies. When you select a meeting tab, you can see a nice summary of all the agenda points and any Playbooks content that's been added to that meeting before it's even happened. That allows you to spend a little bit of extra time polishing up your pitch, perhaps thinking about what that client's objectives and goals really are, and being able to walk into the meeting with no surprises. And not forgetting smart controls throughout the Playbooks app, kicking off here in the meeting listing page. You can clone your meeting, so if you have recurring meetings, it could be the same meeting, same format, etc., at the touch of a button. Meeting editing tools, and obviously that meeting delete tool as well. Moving on to the contacts page, where a simplified view of all the contacts that you currently have in your Playbooks account. Edit, update, add additional information, and eventually contact syncing, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. We have search and filtering tools, so for those power users that have thousands of clients, it's much easier to track down that contact that you want to get in touch with or book a meeting with. In future, we're looking forward to introducing analytical tools, meeting listings, and so much more that can enrich your meeting experience with the contacts, clients, and external parties that you communicate with in meetings every day. So now we move on to where the magic happens, the meetings page. Now this was a particular tricky task. Lots of moving parts, lots of requests, lots of requirements. How could we build all the functionality in, but also maintaining simplicity? We want to make it as fast as possible to start a meeting, and we also want to make it as simple as possible for others to be able to collaborate within that meeting. So for this exciting new version of Playbooks, we've implemented a tile-based system. This gives meeting organisers and meeting participants the freedom to really control how a meeting looks and feels to them. You'll notice these tiles can be moved ever so slightly into different positions, and they'll also scale on mobile, which is a great experience for those taking a meeting on the train, perhaps on Zoom. But let's start with the info bar. There's a nice blue bar on the left-hand side. From here, you can get key information like meeting title, contacts and clients or primary participant in the meeting, date, time, those sorts of things, and a link perhaps to a Zoom or a Google Meet link. Calendly will automatically push those links through if a client books from that end, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Smart functions, where you can quickly clone the meeting if it's gone so well, or if it's a format of a meeting that you really think could be more valuable again in future. The ability to edit the meeting, and obviously the delete functions as well. Now, adding participants to meeting was a point of friction where you would have to go into an edit panel, type in an email address, go back out to the meeting, and then obviously send a meeting invitation. We've simplified that for version 2 of Playbooks. You can send individual meeting invites out to individuals, you can send group invites out, and you can have single comments or group comments. This really allows you to customize your messaging to get people into meetings as quick as possible. And so on to agenda points, the area where you can really set the stage for a fantastic meeting. Collaborative from the moment that your meeting invites get sent out, or even from whenever one of your meeting attendees books the meeting via Calendly. Agenda points can be added straight in from the Calendly comments section. But agenda points go beyond that rather than just being a simple text field. With agenda points, you can add additional attachments from OneDrive and forthcoming providers down the track, and then the content library. This is the secret sauce to smart meetings. With the Playbooks library of expertise, you can support new discussions, evolve older discussions or discussions in flight, and perhaps reach some really incredible outcomes, or even get in touch with someone who's an expert in their field. So how do we make it so easy? At the tap of a button, the content library will pop out into the meeting interface. You can then select from your content, your team's content, or the public library. As you go through searching, filtering, finding that perfect piece of content to really light up the meeting and help your clients and or participants reach the outcomes that they most desire. It's that simple. But how do you keep a pulse check on the discussions in a meeting, and how do you keep a record of what you actually arrived to? So the notes section, we've given flexibility here for organisers. You've got your own private notes section. It could be something private that you want to discuss with a client, but perhaps you don't want to share that whilst the meeting's occurring. And then we also have the public notes field, whether it's recording meeting minutes, a short snapshot, some dot points, rich text, even emojis. So finally, perhaps the most critical part of any meeting, the action points. Action points hold people accountable to achieve key objectives, lay the groundwork for future plans, and obviously get things done. So with action points, we can pop those into the system, we can assign them, we can assign a date, and once again, they're tickable off from the dashboard as soon as they're complete. So that's the essence of our smart meeting tool, but the Playbooks value proposition absolutely does not end there. Let's talk about the content library. The content library enables businesses, advisors, organisers, whomever's using the meeting tool to promote their product or service, share advice in meetings, and ultimately help meeting participants and themselves reach the best possible outcomes. So whether you share your personal playbooks, curated and crafted by yourself, or you share your team's playbooks, or perhaps playbooks content from our library of expertise. But what is a playbook? Well, a playbook has a title, an industry, and perhaps a topic, or multiple topics. This allows the playbook to be searched much quicker and filtered in the library. With playbooks, you can share templates, resources, and any expertise or content you regularly share with clients in meetings. Or perhaps with your team. Are there regular things you share at a weekly stand-up? Is there a monthly meeting or a quarterly board meeting where particular types of content must be shared every time rather than you having to bring them into another platform? You can store all of those in playbooks and more. Plays sit inside a playbook. A play has a title, and then it can have as many talking points and as much richer content as you want possible using our rich content tools. Playbooks support your recommendations, your decision making, and your advisory practices right as it's being discussed in meetings. To help you discover content quickly and efficiently, we have search and smart keyword filtering. And to support you getting onto Playbooks as quick as possible, we have a wonderful migration support team ready to help. For businesses, getting in front of future customers can be hard and extremely expensive. So capturing buyers at the moment of discussion and decision making immediately creates value and trust. Playbooks elevates that trust by connecting buyers of providers and products and services without leaving the app. Each play takes advantage of our unique referral system. A simple two-step process puts that power in buyers' hands. Contact requests are sent in real time to content publishers, and so that relationship can begin right here in Playbooks. Let's talk about integrations. We know that robust integrations are critical to your success, and that starts with booking meetings. We launched our Calendly integration early this year. Syncing meetings booked in the popular Calendly booking tool sync to Playbooks in real time. Participants are even able to add agenda points in Calendly and start collaborating with you right away. Next up, contacts and calendars. Two of the most critical aspects to almost any business, and two that should always work in unison. So we've listened to our users, we've asked our future partners, what are those tools that they use every day and how can they plug into Playbooks? So I'm excited to announce today, development is underway on Office 365 integration, on a Google Workspace integration, on a Zero Practice Manager integration, and finally a HubSpot CRM integration. With Office 365 and Google Workspace, there are numerous modules that people use every day to be collaborative. We want to integrate those with Playbooks, whether it's contacts, it's calendars, it's file storage. All of those things will be slowly introduced to the Playbooks platform in the very near future. When it comes to Zero Practice Manager, from our research, we know that multiple accountants really do keep this as their true source of information for contacts. In order for Playbooks to work with those guys, we need to make sure that comes into the platform and also goes back out. So a two-way sync is very, very close to release. And so when it comes to CRM integrations, we know from listening to our customers that HubSpot seems to be the one they use the most. Whether that's syncing contacts in or out of Playbooks, whether that's pushing notes taken in Playbooks to HubSpot as meetings are concluded, or perhaps creating a task in HubSpot from an action point. Those key areas are the things that will make Playbooks more successful with our HubSpot users. So we look forward to sharing these brand new integrations with you in the coming weeks. And for our existing users, we'd love you to join our early access programs. Keep an eye out for comms coming out to that very, very soon, and we look forward to getting you integrated as quick as possible.